Hello, everyone. It is Ms. White again, and today I'm here to read and talk about the fourth excerpt from the VCE readings list for VCE philosophy, the fourth excerpt from Aristotle. So, this section particularly pertains to friendship. If you are looking for the other excerpts from Aristotle that are about happiness and pleasure, you can go back to one of my other videos, which is already on YouTube. But today we are just reading this little excerpt from book 9 about the need of friendship and why does the happy man need friends. So for most of you now, we are beginning our, like, working towards our second sack. Most of you have just finished your first sack. So this will be an exciting bit to sort of segue from happiness or from pleasure and into friendship. So I'm going to read this excerpt and talk you through my annotations, and hopefully it is helpful. So, the need of friendship. Why does the happy man need friends? It is also disputed whether the happy man will need friends or not. Remembering, of course, when Aristotle says happy, he's referring to eudaimonia, or human greatness, human flourishing. So whether the flourishing man needs friends is what he is dealing with here. It is said that those who are supremely happy and self-sufficient have no need of friends. Because I mean, here when he's talking self-sufficient, well, if you've already got everything you need within yourself, which we know that we can get the human good that way, why would you need friends if the human good is self-sufficient? So why does the happy man need friends? Do they need friends? So those who are supremely happy and self-sufficient have no need of friends, for they have things that are good, and therefore, being self-sufficient, they need nothing further. While a friend, being another self, furnishes what a man cannot provide by his own effort. Whence the saying, when fortune is kind, then kind what the need of friends. But it seems strange when one assigns all good things to the happy man, not to assign friends, who are thought the greatest of external goods. So I've highlighted that bit here. So friends are the greatest of external goods, is what he said. Why are people wondering this? So, for those of you who were maybe struggling a little bit with what exactly he's been saying since I last spoke, so obviously we talked about the good being self-sufficient in previous chapters, and he's like, well, why would you need any friends if, like, you're already in a self-sufficient state where you can get the good yourself? And he says, need nothing further. Well, a friend, being another self, furnishes what a man cannot provide by his own effort, which I think is an interesting way of thinking about it. So, your friends are the things that you cannot provide by yourself. And he says, well, even when fortune is kind, what is the need of friends? Um, Here it's like, well, yeah, when you've got a really, really good life and everything is coming your way and everything is entirely self-sufficient, why would you need friends? But it seems strange when one assigns all good things to the happy man, not to assign friends. So even when we've reached this good, why wouldn't we assign friends? Because everyone seems to think that they are the greatest of external goods. And external as in outside of oneself. And if it is not, sorry, let's continue. And if it is more characteristic of a friend to do well by another than to be done well by, and to confer benefits is characteristic of the good man and of virtue, and it is nobler to do well by friends than by strangers, the good man will need people to do well by. So, um, again, this is what we've just talked about. And he goes, well, okay, but it is better to do well by your friends. We know that. So if it is better to do well by friends, if it makes you a good person to do well by your friends, then surely you need people to do well by. Um, The good man will need people to do well by. This is why the question is asked whether we need friends more in prosperity or in adversity. Do we need our friends more when everything's going well or when everything's going bad? On the assumption that not only does a man in adversity need people to confer benefits on him, but also those who are prospering need people to do well by. And I think that's a really interesting piece. So not only when we're having a tough time, do we need people to help us, but also when we are in a state of prosperity, when we're doing really well, we need other people to help, to continue to be good. Surely it is strange, too, to make the supremely happy man a solitary. And I've circled this here because when we think about who else talks about being solitary or solitude, this might be a point for comparison here. So Nietzsche, spoiler alert, he talks about the virtue of solitude. But Aristotle, conversely, is saying, well, surely it's strange for the supremely happy man to be solitary. For no one would choose the whole world on condition of being alone, since man is a political creature and one whose nature is to live with others. So, and this is what a lot of your arguments will rest on when it comes to friendship. It seems that we are biologically wired to be political. We're biologically wired to live and exist in community. And if we don't live and exist in community, we don't get very far. If we didn't have friends, if we didn't have people that we talk to, if we didn't have society, we would have none of the technology that we have today. No one would ever work with each other. So we seem to be, it's within our nature to be a political creature, to work within society. Therefore, even the happy man lives with others, for he has the things that are by nature good, and plainly it is better to spend his days with friends and good men than with strangers or any chance persons. Therefore, the happy man needs friends. So even the happy man needs friends. Sorry, you just heard my cat having a little yell there. He wants my attention. But back to Aristotle, therefore, because it's in our nature to live with others, and even the happy man lives with others, for he has the things that are by nature good. So, since it's in our nature, and the happy man has things that are by nature good, and it is plainly better to spend his days with friends and good men than with strangers or any other chance persons. So, there we have it. That is what Aristotle has to say on friendship. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.